Hi, this is SP. Welcome to my channel AutoTechSP. One of the hyped phone in 2021 is waiting to fit into the flagship race for so long finally did some progress. That is a Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Exciting features with its new hardware and software with Google's magics. Let's not waste the time and just dive into it. But first, let me go through the specifications of Google Pixel 6 Pro. When coming to the display, LTPO Super AMOLED screen with 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, with max brightness of 842 but 495 nits max with adaptive brightness disabled. With screen size of 6.7 inch 1440p 512 pixels per inch density with a 88.8% screen to body ratio. It comes with cornering Gorilla Glass vectors. Coming to the platform, it runs on Android 12 with a Google Tensor 5nm chipset with octa-core CPU and Mali G78 MP20 GPU. Coming to the battery, it is 5003 mAh battery which is non-removable. It supports up to 30 watts of fast charging and 23 watts of fast wireless charging. It also has a reversible wireless charging. When coming to the network, it has a GSM with embedded SIM in it. There is no dedicated micro SD card slot. It has a 12GB of RAM with 128GB and 256GB and 512GB variant with flash storage of 3.1. It comes with a triple camera lens with wide of 50 megapixel f1.9 with a telephoto lens of 48 megapixel f3.5, ultra wide angle lens with a 12 megapixel f2.2. Coming to the video recording, it can record up to 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second and 1080p at 30 to 240 frames per second, which can help to record slow motion videos. When coming to the selfie camera, it has a single 11.1 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide angle lens. It can record 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second. It has under fingerprint display sensor, IP68 rated. It comes with 5.2 AutoTechSP, Bluetooth, the GPS, NFC, and also comes with a USB Type-C 3.1. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to see the further notifications of my videos. Do check out the product links in the description down below. Coming to the review, the Pixel 6 Pro is a powerful and capable phone with a Tensor chipset, but somehow it is moderate in benchmarks. Has some serious excellent applications in it. Coming to the build and design, it looks premium in the Pixel lineups with a glass and polished aluminum with dual tone finish with well built, a fresh design that stands out compared to the competitors. The Pixel 6 Pro is the large phone. It's difficult to reach the top of the phone with a single hand. Talking about the design, it offers a huge bump covering both the corners of the mobile, which helps in operating handheld without shaking and wobbling. So finally, the looks are very subjective. It is IP68 rated for water resistance, meaning it can withstand being in 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes. Display. When it comes to the display, it has the large 6.7 inch display with adaptive AMOLED screen, which means it is flexible to use a refresh rate from 1 to 120 Hz, which gives you the very smooth experience. It is a super fast and responsive with curved display. When coming to the fingerprint, which is not lightning fast but takes about a half a second, Google says it uses AI to secure algorithms which allow you to keep it secure more. A bit of annoying thing, but hoping to resolve in the coming software updates. Talking about the Tensor chipset, it made its debut in the Pixel 6 lineup. Previously, they used the Qualcomm, which is not up to the mark for Google, so they decided and collaborated with Samsung and made the Tensor chip as they wanted to perform with, which is compatible and convenient to the Pixel. When it compares to the Snapdragon 888, it is likely slower up to 6 to 10%. The Tensor chip has its benefits of adapting AI and machine learning. When it comes to GPU benchmarks, then it outshines the Snapdragon chip by margin of 10 to 15%. Talking about the camera, Google has once again reclaimed its Android photography crown and goes head to head with Apple's and Samsung best. Google has adapted 12 megapixel in the past lineup of pixels, can optimize the image as it needed and extracts the best from that camera. As we speak in the Pixel 6 lineup, Google has different approach by changing entirely camera hardware with a new one. Coming to that camera list, it comes with a 50 megapixel primary lens, a 48 megapixel of telephoto lens, it can zoom up to 4x optical zoom, and also a 12 megapixel which is ultra wide angle lens. Normally every phones that makes it pixel binning it to 12 megapixel as standard. Images from the main camera lens are stunning, they are vibrant and also packed with plenty of details. There is an amazing balance of exposure with bright skies kept under control and shadow areas being uneasily visible. 4x optical zoom takes an amazing pictures. It has the details that deals with Apple's 3x optical zoom, and that details which is offers are unreal compared to Apple thanks to Google Super Res Zoom. Digitally cropping to 10x on the Pixel 6 Pro looks as good as the optical 10x on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Coming to the portrait mode, it digitally zooms and increases the contrast by naturally blurring the background. It can identify the objects and focus instantly, and it also has the tap to follow focus which follows the subject as you need. While taking a close-up shot, Pixels offers only digital zoom that makes the quality of the pictures compromised. Talking about the night photography, it shows grains in the viewfinder before processing, but after the processing completes, the grains disappears completely and pictures look perfectly fine without any grains whatsoever, which is incredible due to its high sensitive ISO. Night sight and astrophotography are so far ahead of anything Samsung has to offer. Thanks to Tensor chipset, lens flares are common in any phones, but it shows very often in the Pixel phones. Because of that, it ruins the shot sometime. When it comes to the video recording in the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, the Google focused mostly on the photos than the videos. As it heavily processed in the images, it struggles to rely mostly when it comes to the video recording. It over brightens the video sometimes and electronic image stabilizer struggles due to low light. The only area the Pixel misses out on here is video capture. Filming in 4K, you cannot zoom any further than 4x, while the Samsung S21 Ultra can do 4K up to 10x zoom thanks to that dedicated sensor. And coming to the slow motion, the details are missing heavily and the usability can be compromised due to the loss in details and dynamic range. Talking about the selfie camera, it offers 11 megapixels which gives you the decent photos with good dynamic range and details in it. It can record up to 4K 30 fps and 1080p up to 60 fps, which takes a smooth video that the exposure is well contained under the sunlight. The overall look is good, the stability is doing its best. The detailing is missing out when it comes to the low light. It processed a lot to make it good, but when it comes to the video, it dilutes the details and projects the grainy video. Camera features. The Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro offering a bunch of features which is brand new and also very useful. Motion mode. It allows you to take an action shot with the long exposure by taking several photos and combine into one, and adds blur effect to the background which looks like professional photo. Action pan. It is slightly gimmicky that it presents the moving person, adds the aesthetic blur to the background and makes sharp to the subject, but it can also applicable when the person is moving together, but very handy feature. Face unblur. We are in the situation that we used to take several blurred photos due to the motion or lighting conditions, which we cannot take another chance out of it. Thanks to the face unblur feature on Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, the Pixel camera scans the situation with Face SSD, to figure out if there is any face in the scene. In that condition, the camera takes another picture by allowing two cameras to take that shot with the primary camera in the normal mode to reduce the noise in the photo, and the secondary ultra wide angle lens to increase the faster exposure in order to minimize the blur. Then the AI will process them both by making it you can achieve a sharper face with low noise photos. Magic Eraser, taking photos in crowded places, and you cannot wait until the crowd is clear. Pixel got you covered. It has the feature to remove unwanted objects and peoples in between the pictures, which is handy and savior while we take the photos. It really takes efforts to Photoshop and clear the objects and persons, but Pixel 6 Pro does it easy. You can clear it as it suggests, or you can clear it through manually marking it. It's all thanks to the Tensor chipset that makes it easy with the help of AI. This can get you the effortless perfect pictures. Using a Pixel is about more than the stock Android experience. Pixel get exclusive features no other phone will ever offer. It has the stereo speakers, which is normal, but when recording the video, it enables the noise cancellations of wind or any other sounds. It adapts the wallpaper according to your needs and applies the theme which suits overall look. Quick tap. These features allow you to instantly record to the moment in the Snapchat world within just a tap back on your phone. Twice will enable that feature, which is cool, right? Snapchat lovers will enjoy this more. Speech to text. I've never seen assistant response so fast, and the new voice typing in Google Board is unrivaled. One will definitely forget typing. It can be addictive. It offers that level of response and confidence. Coming to the battery, as we are dealing with the apples to apples comparison, which is not good. It only offers of 6 hours of screen on time, whereas the iPhone 13 Pro Max will offer up to 8 hours of screen on time with the 4000-ish battery. Google claims a day of charging, which is true, but it drains faster than iPhone 13 Pro Max when we are using it by charging. It supports up to 30 watts, and in wireless it supports up to 23 watts. Google might have forgotten that the competition in the flagship race, as it is lagging behind. It takes about 2 hours to charge completely. As we can see that another manufacturers, the Xiaomi is offering like 65 watts. Coming to the gaming, it has the large screen with the great refresh rate. It improves gaming experience. It shows the FPS feature while gaming in Call of Duty with a 60 FPS with max setting with ease. Battleground India with standard setting it reaches 60 frames per second. In Fortnite in max setting it locked to 30 frames per second. 30 minutes of gaming leads to heat the device up to 40 degrees centigrade. For 3 to 4 hours of gameplay it ranges from 100 to 65%, which is decent. Coming to the final verdict, it has the actual hardware which is needed to compete with flagship phones. Tensor 5nm chipset of Google is doing wonders in some areas, but still needed a lot of improvements. Google promises 3 years of security updates and 5 years of OS patches. That is impressive. Incredible camera for photos but average in videos. Bit of compromise, but it is not having the consistency as we looking into the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Battery life is decent enough to sustain a day. Finicky in-display fingerprint reader and secondary punch hole camera. In some cases, nothing is perfect as this Pixel phone 2. Being a new chipset which needs to be addressed the problem and fix that issue as soon as possible. Anyway, Google is now taking it seriously in the smartphone division. Let's see for the next software update to resolve and better improved next gen Tensor chipset. Hope to improve the CPU speed and benchmarks. That is the final verdict. Thank you for watching.